Yes, we are here at the Country Music Festival in the town of Reedy. Thank you very much, Miss Lauren. Number one, thank you for filling in for George Allen so he could come out here and play with us, have some fun. It's going to be a great, great day two here at the Reedy Country Music Festival. Day number two, of course, night number one, we had some tremendous artists. Of course, Triple Threat, a long-standing band around the area, led things off last night with music. And then, boy, what a treat we were welcome to with Stephanie and the band of brothers. Now, it took them a little while to get themselves going. They had an issue with a keyboard. They got some welding, some soldering done, and they got it back on. I tell you what, that was a tremendous, tremendous musical act to finish off the first night of music. We've already got the first band on stage here right now getting set up. It's Twisted Times. That is a local band here. A couple of the founding members, in fact, this is their backyard, in fact. They just live up the road a little bit of a spell. They're going to lead us off here tonight. They'll get started here in just a little bit. Following them, it is a musical act. It's a young man that we had to pull in at the last minute because we had a illness to Gabby Salvucci. Unfortunately, she could not make it in from the Pittsburgh area, so we'll have to try to find her somewhere else at another time. But Logan Reynolds is coming in to take her place. He'll be on the stage following Twisted Times, and then we are going to be treated to one of the best individual musicians that I know of.
Hooner.
Absolutely. The Hooner himself and John Richards. That man plays everywhere all the time, and he is going to close out night number two here at the Reedy Country Music Festival. Also, again, all the food vendors, the local food vendors. We hope you come decide to support those local food vendors. JoJo's Tacos is over there.
Local?
Yeah, JoJo's Tacos is over there. Old Fitz's Realty also with them. Those are one of the main sponsors for this event. Of course, getting piggy with it, 304, Jason Miles Bennett, who has ties to the Calhoun County community. A Clay County graduate himself, but that's all right. We won't hold that against him.
But he is a fellow Hooner.
Yes.
We do accept him and claim him.
Yes, and if Josie Montgomery's there too,
Exactly.
she is full-blooded Calhoun nonetheless.
100%.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff again going on here in day number two. We're going to be live on the radio a few times throughout the next couple of hours. We're going to be staying live on our YouTube and Facebook accounts. So if you have any questions, comments, criticisms, snide remarks, whatever it is, go ahead and throw them on there, and we will judge you the way we can judge people on our own accounts. We'll enjoy that nonetheless. This is Andrew Miller, WVRC, joined by George Allen, and of course, Swolby running things for us here today on the computer, the graphics and everything. George, I tell you what, was a little worried.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this, a little worried when I got here, when we were setting up the music and setting our equipment up. I didn't feel any breeze. Now, I was outside today with
great now.
I was outside with a live remote today, and it was breezy, and it made it beautiful. And then we got here, and it was like Mississippi in May. It was stagnant air, and I was like, please do not let it get hot. And now the breeze is back up and blowing. Going to be another very nice night here.
Well, you know, it was in the 90s yesterday when we were down here, and it wasn't bad because we had this nice little breeze that we've got right now. I mean, it kept it doable.
Yeah, you could barely tell, even though yesterday evening it was in the 90s. It didn't feel like it. The breeze was blowing. It was very comfortable, at least in the shade. And that's what we have here today. Again, today, folks, yesterday and today, it's just $10 to get into the entire event. Now, there is no formal seating for yesterday or today, so we are in what will be considered tomorrow the VIP area with the front row seats. But today, if you want to come into this front area and sit down and listen to the bands that are going to be playing tonight, you're more than welcome to do that.
If you want to sit 3 foot from the speakers, you can do that.
I think Swolby's going to take his camera up there and sit 3 feet from the lead guitarist who's getting ready to come up here. He's enjoying, number one, his guitar skills and his actual axes that he's got back there.
Oh, man, he smokes them, too.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, Twisted Times, this is a band that I am very, very familiar with. In fact, years and years ago, when puppies were the oldest animals, I used to play some music with Ronnie Britton. I would come over here to the Reedy area, and we would jam out with a bunch of different players, and it'd just be a jam session. We'd go back and forth. But since then, I have stopped playing much music, and Ronnie has continued to play a ton of music, and he has gotten that group together. They've been together now they've had different members in and out, but right now they got a great combination of members in their band. Ronnie's wife, in fact, who is a worker down at Stats Pharmacy, is a tremendous lead singer. She has got pipes. They write a lot of songs. They do some covers as well to be a nice mix up. You got Dusty Casser there on the drums, having a good time. Bjorn Anderson on the bass. Mike Cook, who has been playing lead guitar since I can remember. I remember him back in high school when I was only in middle school. So this group is very well seasoned with music, and I'm looking forward to them starting us off tonight.
I'll tell you what, I always look forward to Twisted Times because, they will put on one heck of a show. I almost slipped.
Yeah. Good thing George tried to get it all out before we went on the air, and hopefully he doesn't forget that we're on the radio. But tell you what, it's going to be a fun day here, folks. We hope that you make the decision on this Friday evening to come out and, again, support the local businesses who are supporting this festival. Support the town of Reedy in itself. I tell you what, nothing is going to be perfect in year number one. We're always trying to do the best we can, and that's what the town of Reedy's trying to do here. They're trying to bring something good and something positive to this little community and try to continue to build some pride in this community. And if people show up this year, then there'll be a chance for it again the following year and the year after that, the year after that. But we got to have people come out here and support this event. A lot of local people have put a lot of time and effort and energy into this event. So we invite you to come out to the Reedy Country Music Festival. We're going to keep checking in on the radio side of things. If you have any questions, folks, get on our Facebook and YouTube channels. We are live here in Reedy, and we will answer any questions that you may have. Till then, I'm going to send it back up to the studio to Miss Lauren, and we'll check in a little bit later. Ba-ding-ding-ding. She hung up on me.
Yeah, she did.
I know we're on, but yeah, Swobie's always worried that I don't know we're on live Facebook and YouTube.
Right.
Just because Bill Jack did that one time, don't worry.
Drew, I want to take a second and thank some of our sponsors.
Oh, absolutely.
That we've got helping put on this event. Number one, Shamlin Brothers Farm Supply. Clear on the other end of the county.
Small community of their own.
Exactly.
Yes.
Clear on the other end of the county. And, the Shamlin Brothers Farm Supply, we take our hats off to them. Actually, tomorrow, I believe, they're bringing some of their tractors down to display. And then also Cash Saver. Tank Blosser. What can you say about Tank?
Tank and Amy are the top of the walk.
Exactly.
Let's just say that.
And then you've got Calhoun Banks. You've also got Spencer McDonald's. And you've got Carpenter's General Store. Folks, these folks dug deep. Plus, you've got Old Fences Realty and JoJo's Tacos that have contributed to this as well.
Mm-hmm.
And matter of fact, JoJo's got her food truck set up over there. And let me tell you, if you have never had, this is coming straight from the Fat Man. The Fat Man does like to eat.
I've seen it and vouch for this.
And I'm telling you, JoJo's Tacos is top shelf.
Yes.
Top shelf.
I'll tell you what, they've gained a little bit of a cult following, by the way, as well with the places they have gone and the exposure that they have gotten. They had a couple stories written about them and done for them by some TV stations in the Parkersburg, Charleston area. They also, by the way, you want to talk about being in the right place at the right time. The Food Network was at one of the events that they were at, and the Food Network interviewed them, and they're going to put them on one of their they call it, I can't remember the name of the show itself, but it's all about the food trucks.
That's what I was going to say.
Carnivals and events and stuff like that. And that's going to be playing on the Food Network in early August, I think is what Mike told us last night. I think early August is when that's going to be out, that episode. Looking forward to getting that exposure for JoJo's Tacos. And I tell you what, they've done a great job with what they do. But, again, that is a local business right there. And, again, can't forget about and good buddy Jason Miles Bennett over with Getting Piggy with It 304. Exactly. You'll know, by the way. Yeah. You will know very quickly when he lights up that smoker.
Exactly.
Because it's going to start wafting this way.
Exactly. And you know how I am. The minute it hits me, it just starts drooling out of the corners of my mouth, and I'm ready to go. But also, Speaking of cult following, we've got
Are you starting
another
a cult, George?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
We've got another great food vendor that is here that has got a pretty good following as well. Sisters Samurai Hibachi,
Mm-hmm.
out of Ripley. Of course, they bring their truck to Spencer quite often and set up. And they also set up over in Grantsville and Arnoldsburg, and they travel to all the different communities here in the area, and they actually go to Elizabeth as well too. I forgot about that, but they have great food as well. That's the problem, Drew. I've got today, I've got tomorrow, I've got to do Samurai Hibachi.
Yes.
I've got to do Getting Piggy with it.
Yes.
I mean, Jason has got his smoked macaroni and cheese and his baked beans that are just to die for. So I'm just torn between whether it's pulled pork or a rack of ribs. I just don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, we did a video yesterday and posted it this morning on WVRC's website to try to get some interest involved here. We went through all of the food vendors, and we went down there, and I asked Jason how much meat in poundage did he have, and he broke it down into individual types. I was like, wow, that's good. So while we were down there, I went ahead and got some smoked mac and cheese, and he put some pulled pork on top of it, and I put some barbecue sauce on top of that, and nearly had a conniption fit. It was awesome.
I tried to convince him yesterday that he needed to go home and make some eggs and do his smoked eggs that he does. I'm telling you what, the smoked hard-boiled eggs.
Oh, Lord. I didn't even know that's the thing you could do until last year at the Walnut Festival. He brought me one over.
He brought us both over. And, I mean, it was like to die for, folks.
It was amazing.
Of course, his food is just, it's amazing to begin with.
Yes.
And, I will say I had JoJo's tacos last night.
I also had that. That's how much I ate yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, folks, what we're looking at here is the main stage here at the Reedy Country Music Festival. And again, music, I know there was some confusion with this today. People were wondering when the music was actually scheduled to begin. It was fluctuating from some people back and forth between 5 and 6, 5 and 6, 5 and 6. And we weren't really sure, even ourselves, what was going to happen with it. So we have been told by one of the band members, by the way, that is getting ready to go up for Twisted Times, that 6 o'clock is when they were scheduled to begin. So that is when they're going to begin. And we just so happened to see Don Shepard walk over at the same time. That's a very, very, very scary thing you just did, Don. You just handed George a microphone. That means he has power and authority right now, just so you know.
The master MC.
Yeah. So there was some confusion as to what time the music would start. We are confirmed that tonight's music begins at 6 p.m. I kind of like that because it gives people who work away a little bit more time to get home, get showered, maybe if they want to eat at home, whatever it may be, and then come here to this event.
Yeah, I think that's what they was learning there from last night. We started a little early, and people hadn't made it home from work, so we pushed back to 6 o'clock tonight, and they're going from 6 to 8, and then Logan Reynolds will be up after that, and the nightcap will be John Richards this evening, so looking forward to it.
I tell you, you want to talk about some great – now, I have not heard Logan Reynolds. I'm assuming he's very good, but I know I've heard this band multiple times, and I know how good they are. And I've seen John Richards multiple times, and I know how good he is. This is going to be a fun night tonight.
Now, I want to tell you something. I have only caught 2 songs of John Richards. I got to a show late one time, and he did 2 songs before he was done.
Yep.
But the 2 that I caught, Lordy.
You're in for a treat there.
Yes, buddy.
Well, okay, so let's talk about last night there, Don. You guys worked all day to get the sound system right, the music right. You had triple threat first. And then we had an odd issue with a keyboard situation. And I thought, I went ahead and called it. I said Don Shepard is up there soldering wires together. Turns out it wasn't you, it was somebody else.
Yeah, we didn't have to break out. I just provided the multimeter, but one of their techs was with them. They was able to get their power pack back up and running, and so they saved the day, and we was having a keyboard. We thought it was power. Power just got put in yesterday morning, so we was afraid that there was maybe an issue there, but it turned out it was on the power pack side of the keyboard, and they was able to get that put back together without my assistance. But if we needed to, we was on standby. So
I just knew that any second Don was going to say, "I got this."
For those of
step aside, boys.
For those of you who don't know, I met Don Shepard through Joe McDonald. Don is an administrator over at the Roan Jackson Tech Center, but he's also kind of a techie. He's interested in old equipment himself, and we had an issue with our Comrex equipment. We didn't know how we were going to get it to work because we have an old pot system at our pot board system at our station. It's like, I don't know how to solder anything. George, you know how to solder anything? Like, no. And Joe said, get a hold of Don Shepard. He might be interested in this. And when you showed up, you're like, ooh, I like this.
We can work on this.
So Don is the reason we're on the air right now, by the way, with our Comrex.
Like 30 seconds, Don was done.
Done, yes.
It took him longer to run the wire from the back room out to the front through the ceiling, to drop it down and
clean some of those cobwebs out for you guys.
Yeah, I do appreciate that for sure. So Don's been doing stuff like that for quite a while, but I tell you what, man, the sound was so good yesterday, and I can't wait for today. And you know what I think? I think these musicians are so excited because I don't know if you've worked with a lot of these musicians before with your stuff. They're excited. Last night we talked to the people like, we've never had this kind of sound before.
Yeah, that's what they're used to. On most of their gigs, they're kind of self-contained and have to maintain not only the monitors but the main mix themselves. And that's what I was talking to Dusty Rhodes, and he's like, hey, can you help us out? He's like, I can only do so much, play drums, run monitors, run mains. So he was asking us to help him out. And so, yeah, I think they're excited whenever they show up and there's a sound company there to take care of them. And like I said, we bend over backwards for them. They put on their show and we do our thing.
I'm going to toot Don's horn a little bit,
Okay.
When we were talking about this, if you remember when we were sitting at the office talking about it one day,
I don't remember
about the pipe dream.
The many ideas that run through George's head into his mouth and into my ears. Oh, some of them I hit on, some of them I forget.
Yeah, but we were talking about this, and I said, I hope and pray that his schedule is open because I said,
yes,
there's only one person that I want to do sound.
Yeah.
And I said, that's Don Shepard.
Yeah.
I said, Shep's Entertainment has got the equipment to do it. I said, I don't know if he's got enough to really rock out the whole field. But
we found that out. So
guess what? I was down at Getting Piggy with it yesterday, and Don was just playing some music, before everything started. And, man, I was having a blast down there.
Let me tell you who else was tooting your horn last night. We talked with Mike Greenlee. He's over there with JoJo's Tacos, obviously. But, again, they run Old Fences Realty during the day. And Mike came over here at the end of the night, and he said, I was 2 miles down the road showing a property. And he's like, I could hear it clear as day, 2 miles down the road. And I was like, I'm not so sure we need VIP seating. VIP seating's all the way down at the other end still.
I think we had to turn it down a little bit. It wasn't coming in the gates.
I tell you, it is so good. I tell you, the sound quality is fantastic. If we build it, they will come, and that's what we're hoping. That's why we're on the air. We're trying to get people to come down here, show up, and have a good time. Not often you get something in your small backyard here of Reedy, West Virginia, so positive, so many artists, local musicians. We're trying to support local businesses here, local musicians. We're trying to build some pride and fun in this town, and it's right here for you, and the weather, let's just say, so far, so good.
Yes, been wonderful weather. We're looking forward to another great night here. Again, like I said, kicking off here at 6 o'clock, so not too far away.
Yep.
And then tomorrow we kick off the main stage at 11 a.m. That's the busy day tomorrow. Five bands.
I think we're getting started about 9, right?
Well, yes. We'll be, yes.
Well, that's the royal we. I'm not going to be here at 9. Don Shepard will.
I'll be on the phone. No, well, that's right. You'll have the Starlink, so I won't be on.
Yeah. We are at the mercy of my sleep schedule right now. Well, Don, thank you so much again for stopping down with us. We hope to talk to you again, maybe even later today, but if not, we'll talk to you throughout tomorrow. And I cannot wait for this band to take center stage with you guys. It's going to be fun.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Don.
That is Don Shepard with Sheps Entertainment. They are running the sound for this. And let me just say, yesterday proved everything that anybody might need to know about what they can do with the sound system that they have.
I mean, I already knew it.
Yes,
So,
yes.
you know, it was one of those kind of deals of, you know, it was a no-brainer to call Don and say, hey, what does your schedule look like?
Yes.
And I called him in November.
Oh, you had to.
I
You got to
called
make
him
sure
in
you get
November.
this guy.
I said, what's your schedule look like for the end of June? He said, what's the date? And I told him. He said, I can do that. He said, I'm open right now. I said, well, you're not now. I said,
yeah,
we got you.
Now, we were telling the story about Joe McDonald is the one that hooked up Don with our station, and Joe just chimed in and said, Sheps Entertainment is top of the line. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Joe's going to be with us tomorrow a little bit, I think. Looking forward to seeing Joe with A&M Digital Technologies.
Actually, we'll have him on stage.
I've got right, left, and center head men, all right? You know, you got right-hand man.
Yeah.
I got Don Shepard. I got Swolby. I got Joe McDonald. I'm like, I'm a fortunate son right now, enjoying all this stuff. But, again, we're looking forward to the music. It'll get started here in about an hour, so you've got plenty of time, folks. If you can't find Reedy, West Virginia on Google, you are missing out because it's one lane in, one lane out. Very easy to find this place. And I tell you what, if you drive into Reedy, look right or left, depending on which way you're going, you're going to see this big open field with a whole bunch of orange fencing put up, a whole bunch of canopy tents put up. You're going to see a lot of people starting to come through. One of my favorite people and one of my favorite older musicians, Fred Varda, is here. He and his wife, Rita, have come out on this Friday evening to enjoy and support this Reedy Country Music Festival. We hope that everybody else decides to come in and enjoy this day. It's here. I often hear, man, I couldn't tell you how many times I hear it or I read it on social media, which is a cesspool sometimes, by the way, and see it. People always say there's nothing to do in Roane County. There's nothing to do. Well, guess what, folks? A lot of volunteers, a lot of local people put a lot of effort into this, and this is a 3-day event for something to do. It costs you $10 to get in here tonight. You're going to hear 3 sets of musicians or bands, and you got food and music, and we're having a good time. So how about that? There's something to do.
Exactly. And, you know, we were talking about that yesterday. I mean, where can you go see 5 bands, you know, for like yesterday and today for $20 a person?
You're going to see 5 full bands tomorrow for $30.
Yeah, or 40.
Or 40, depending on how much you want to go with.
Go.
Yeah, however you want to go. Again, we were talking to Don Shepard. There may not have been a need for VIP seating if you're 2 miles away and you can hear it. That's amazing.
Exactly.
That tells you the quality of sound that we got here, though, folks. I tell you, it's going to be a fun evening. I hope the weather continues to hold up. Been a little bit of a breeze for most of the day. It's been a little stagnant here, but you still see some wind blowing through. That'll keep the temperatures to a minimum, and then once the sun goes down, well, last night when the sun went down,
it was
right
beautiful.
here, it was perfect weather. It was absolutely gorgeous, and we expect that again tonight, and we'll expect it again tomorrow because we're going to go hard in the paint here for this Reedy Country Music Festival. Well, we're going to check in on the radio side of things here in about 7 minutes. Let's go radio silent for just a second so I can get a hold of Lauren, and we'll check in just a minute. Well, thank you very much, Miss Lauren. We are live down here at the Reedy Country Music Festival on day number 2. I tell you what, we were just talking with Ronnie Britton, the lead guitarist, or I guess he's the rhythm guitarist. He plays some keyboards. He sings some. He's not the lead singer sometimes, but sometimes he is. His wife, Kathy, is the lead singer sometimes. Sometimes she's not. They play such a multitude of music. It's going to be very exciting to hear them. That is Twisted Times, which is getting ready to take the stage at 6 p.m. And, George, we laid it down. It is 6 p.m. because you have the microphone.
Exactly. But the thing of it is, Drew, I never get, like, fan geek much. But anytime I get around Ronnie, I get this antsy feeling because he is such a great musician. I mean, you know, every time that I've got to see Twisted Times play, it's phenomenal.
Well, they spend a lot of time practicing their craft, and they've been doing that for quite a long time. So looking forward to them. And, again, they will start the music off this evening at 6 p.m. That's when our buddy George here is going to walk over, take the stage, and introduce Twisted Times. They'll be running from 6 to just short of 8 o'clock. And then Logan Reynolds will take the stage from 8 to just short of 10 o'clock. And then John Richards will take center stage tonight. He will wrap things up with a great set at 10 p.m. tonight. It's going to be good weather. Once the sun goes down, speaking of that, there's a song playing between Uncle Cracker and Kenny Chesney. It says, "When the sun goes down." Buddy, when the sun goes down, it's going to be gorgeous weather. It's already just perfect with a little breeze. It is a little bit warm, but with the breeze, and if you find one of these many tents to sit under, it's going to be really, really good weather. Come out here tonight to the Reedy Country Music Festival. Support local people. We're talking about local musicians. Again, Ronnie Britton is spitting distance from this field right now to where he lives.
Right.
He and Kathy, and of course some of the other members of the band are just close to Spencer.
Yeah.
These are local artists. John Richards is just from over in Calhoun County. These are local people. And if you look down the line at the food trucks, Joellen with JoJo's Tacos, she and Mike are from Spencer. They're local. They also, by the way, their realty company helped sponsor this event.
Exactly.
The event is sponsored by all local businesses. Carpenter's General Store up there on Arnoldsburg Road at the top of the hill. McDonald's local. Now, of course, they're they're local to everybody, but our Spencer McDonald's is local.
Yeah.
Scanlon Brothers, again, you mentioned from across the county to the other side. They are local. Calhoun Banks just across the way from us as well. Spencer Cash Saver. I was there today doing a one-day sale event. Wow.
We don't want to forget Reedy Grocery as well.
We cannot forget Reedy Grocery. They are right in front of us.
Exactly.
And that is a staple in this small community as well. So if you come here and you spend money there, that's what you're doing. You're supporting local people. And we hope the people do decide to come out and support all the local volunteers, by the way. The community members here in Reedy got together, the workers, the volunteers who are running security. They've all stepped up big to help put this on. And they're doing it, why? Not because they want their name in the paper. They're just doing it because they want to put something positive and fun out here for our local community, and that's good.
You know, the whole purpose of this is to bring the community out, bring the community together. And we want to do this year after year after year. Each year we've already talked about it, we plan to go bigger and better each year. And year one, this is a test run. We're trying to get things, you know, just enough to move it through. And then next year, we've got some surprises in the works.
Well, all it takes is people showing up for the event, and we hope that people do here on this Weekend Now event. It is Friday night. The weather's good. It's a very short drive from many places to Reedy, West Virginia, and we're here to try to do some good things and provide good entertainment for the population. Hopefully people decide to come out and enjoy themselves here in the town of Reedy. Again, we'll be doing it tonight on the air until 7 o'clock. The music will start at 6. It'll run all the way through to about the midnight hour tonight, and then we'll do it again bright and early tomorrow morning. We have got a huge lineup of musicians, and we're talking about very, very solid musicians who are on the cusp. Some of them, if you just think about a couple years ago in the city of Spencer when they brought Lainey Wilson,
yes,
who was relatively unknown. She was not quite there. relatively unknown. She played in Spencer, West Virginia, and 4 months later she was on the Grand Ole Opry, and then 5 months after that she was winning CMT Artist of the Year.
Exactly.
And cleaning up, and now I think pretty much everybody knows her name.
And, we were kind of geek boy on that one too, because here we are, we're playing her music before she came to town to play that show.
Mm-hmm.
And she was one of our first up and coming artists that
Yep.
we were working with at that time, and it was just like, hey, this is fantastic.
Got a good picture with a nice signature on it hanging up
Exactly.
in the studio there at WVRC. So who knows? It could be Michael Dean Lewis. It could be Caitlin Jewett. It could be Rachel Lipsky. It could be the Davison Brothers Band. It could be Sam Groh. Could be the next major star. And we got them right here tomorrow. It's going to be a full day of events tomorrow as well. So, folks, we invite you to come out here. Stay with us on YouTube and Facebook. If you have any questions, comments, make sure you put them out there on our comment section. If you have anything that you need to know or want to know, we'll get the information to you there. Till then, we're going to send it back to Miss Lauren. Tell you what, at the bottom half of the 5 o'clock hour, I talked with Ronnie Britton off the air. We're hoping to get the entire band over here to talk for a real quick minute on the radio right before they take stage. Right now, they're getting ready for their sound check. We're going to send it back up to the studio to Miss Lauren. We'll check in at the bottom half of the 5 o'clock hour with the Reedy Country Music Festival.
Get you a sip of that, bud.
Ooh, what is that?
Don't worry about it. Just
Don't you worry about it? Oh. Mm-hmm. Oh. Yeah, we're on the air. Woo! Listen, that's good butterscotch candy.
Yeah.
Reminds me of just the candy. It wasn't the Werther's original. We couldn't afford that, so it was just it was the unbranded butterscotch candy that was in the yellowish wrapper. That's what my grandma had always. I don't know what it was. It just tasted like butterscotch as far as I knew. And then Werther's original came into my life, and I was like, what was this all the time? Where was this stuff?
Appreciate it.
That is very good.
Oh, maybe.
Hey, Drew,
Yes, sir.
we need to also mention that we do have the merch table set up.
Okay, yeah, I forgot about that. Thank you, George. You did remind me of that. So,
I did too, so.
so yesterday, obviously, it was the Thursday. We knew that we wouldn't have a huge crowd out here on a Thursday because people had to work and all that stuff. So we didn't even set out our merch tent at all, or our merch table. But we did go get some merchandise here. We not only have the merchandise on our website, it's just a merch store that you can go to and you can order online, shirts, hats, things like that. But what we brought with us today was our really soft, really quality Gildan T-shirts. People love the quality of those.
Yes.
I tell you what, Nate White with Envy Graphics does
Wearing one of them right now.
Oh, yeah, dude, I saw somebody today walking in and out of Cash Saver wearing one of our shirts.
Yes.
These are the most comfortable, softest shirts ever, and Nate White from Envy Graphics, so good to work with, did that for us. We've also got some can koozies for the first time. We decided to create some can koozies with our WVRC logo on them, and we're selling those at the merch tent as well, so stop by. We got two colors. We've got gray and maroon. Guess why? Because that's Roane County colors. All right, I'm just
Exactly.
saying, that's what we're
Raider 1, baby.
Raider 1. We've also got some stickers. I got to find my stickers
They're
somewhere.
out. They're out.
Eve-
They're
okay,
out on the table.
you know, George found the stickers. Those are just something if you want to put on. A lot of people.
Truck, your
A
car,
lot of people
whatever.
put them on their vehicles. Some
Yeah.
people put them on their walls. Some people put them on their Xboxes and PlayStations. A lot of people use
Guitar
them.
cases,
Put them on
you
their
know.
Yeti coolers, things like that. We've also got some really cool towels. If
Yeah.
it's a little bit warm for you out there, George got some cool towels for us. Those are the ones that you get wet, you snap them, and you put them around your neck, and it keeps you cool in hot weather. I
Exactly.
tell you what, it's a good time for that if you're
Yeah.
out in the sun today.
I've got one on right now. I tell you what, it's actually pretty decent.
I thought you were just sweating profusely. I didn't know it was a cool towel.
no.
So we do have our merch tent set up.
Don Shepard, I took him over one, and Chris,
Yeah.
his assistant over there.
I saw them wearing them nicely too.
They said, "Oh, dude,
This is heaven.
that's
is
exactly
heaven."
right." That's what they were saying. Hey, look. Speaking of Raider 1, look at that shirt, dude.
Hey,
Look at that shirt.
now there's a Raider through and through. Lori Roberts over there. Thank you for coming, Lori. Appreciate you. And she brought her little camping chair with her, and she's ready to listen to some good music as well.
Hey, what about Coach Paul Burdett? You know?
He and his crew are
Exactly.
they're coming over tomorrow morning. They're going to help out with the parking situation, and they're going to try to raise some money for their football program. I know there's a whole lot of excitement coming around this Roane County football program this year. It's been a good last few years. It's been a great run, but this may be one of the better teams Roane County's had, even including those over the last few years.
I mean,
and remember the team that went 10-0 in the regular season? A lot of those guys are still on this team. So,
but the thing of it is with this program now, it's not, you know, you lose 2 or 3 players at the end of the season. It's not, okay, we got to rebuild. It's just reload.
yeah.
It's just reload because they've got so much depth that, you know, this team is going to be, I'm excited.
Absolutely.
I'm excited.
You can hear there is Picture Newspaper's own Jim Cooper, who coming, I imagine, not just in regular capacity. He's got his phone out. He's going to take some pictures.
Yeah.
That'll be in the local Roane County Reporter paper. It's good to see Jim out and about. Hopefully he sticks around for a few minutes. That'd be cool nonetheless. And as you hear in the background, Twisted Times is starting their sound check officially. Going to get a little song going. I tell you what, you just hear Kathy Britton's voice, and it just exudes. I said she's got like pipes, like 4-inch steel pipes coming out, because that's how big her voice is.
Exactly.
So looking forward to that. Yeah, booming voice for sure.
Booming. And, you know, we can't forget about all the local businesses that are set up.
Absolutely.
You know, JoJo's Tacos, Getting Piggy with It 304, you know, Jason Miles Bennett. You know, we've become pretty good buddies with him over the past few years here.
Oh, it's weird. The sisters, Samurai Hibachi, they're from Ripley, the Fairplain area.
But they're here so much.
He's become kind of a part of our community. Just coming over. She sets up outside there at Honest Fred's Flooring.
Yeah.
And she does great business over here in the Roane County area. So we feel like she's kind of an adopted daughter over here.
Exactly.
As a business is concerned.
Exactly. And, you know, it's phenomenal that they reached out, wanted to be part of this. All these different local businesses have reached out and said, hey, you know, we'd like to be a part of this. So,
yes.
We were glad to accept their invitation.
Yes, absolutely.
And it's just, you know, it's amazing. As you know, I've told you for the past couple weeks, I've been like on pins and needles, you know, worried about getting things put together and get it going because after all, Cowboy had to mention it and I kind of ran with it.
Yeah.
I said, well, here's what we can do.
Now, the pipe dream turned into reality. So hopefully people decide to come down. Of course, I haven't looked back in a while. I see some people moving and shaking. I see some rides over there going on. So there is some stuff going on already here. And again, it's just 5:30. The music will get set to go in about 30 minutes. We're hoping when we go live on the radio here in about 10, 15 minutes, we can get the Twisted Times band members down here, get a quick interview with them on the radio if we can. And then they'll take center stage. They'll be followed by Logan Reynolds, who is a fill-in. It'll be a fun fill-in to have. I was so looking forward to Gabrielle Salvucci, a young lady from Pittsburgh. But again, Salvucci, the name, is synonymous over here in Reedy. Coach Sal and his wife and their family grew up, lived here for quite a while. And Thorpe's daughter, Gabriella, was going to come back here. I've had her music on the Homegrown show a few times, but I wanted to see her live. I was so looking forward to it. Unfortunately, she is a little under the weather, so couldn't make it. But Logan Reynolds stepping in very quickly. Appreciate that for him. And then, of course, John Richards at the end of the night. You can't.
What can you say about John?
This guy is, as I said before, I said he's a singer, songwriter style-ish, but it's he and his guitar, and he makes it sound like he's got a three-piece band behind him.
Exactly.
He just knows what he's doing. He's an entertainer first and foremost. And again, that will finish off the night tonight. Again, it's just $10 at the gate here today, folks. There are no VIP seats. You can sit as close to the stage as you would like today for just $10. And we hope you guys decide to come out with this beautiful weather day here in Reedy. We're going to go into radio silent for just a bit. We're going to come back here in about 10, 15 minutes. Hopefully, we can get Twisted Times on the radio.
We can skin a buck and run a trot line in a couple boy county.
Well, thank you very much, Miss Lauren. It is quite loud right now. The sound check is finished for Twisted Times. And so Shep himself, Don Shepard with Shep's Entertainment, is rocking and rolling with some good old-fashioned country music. And he's got her cranked up. My goodness, he just keeps playing nothing but bangers right now.
Exactly. I mean,
We got about 15 minutes left before the music begins here tonight with Twisted Times. Following that will be Logan Reynolds, and then they'll end the night with John Richards. That is night number 2. We do invite people to come out here. Enjoy this beautiful weather, this beautiful setting here right in the valley. We are surrounded by beautiful hills here in Reedy, West Virginia. This facility has been set up perfectly for a music festival. There are local food vendors, food trucks are here. We're looking forward to having a great night number 2, and that will feed us, George, into tomorrow. It's a full day of events.
yes, and you know, tomorrow is going to be so much fun. We're gonna work Chris double time tomorrow.
Listen, Chris has worked hard enough already, George. Let's not remind him that tomorrow is double time.
Well, you guys supplied the wet towels, so
Hey, buddy, got to take care of our people.
right.
I got those cool towels snapped up, ready to go. That's something you probably could have used yesterday all day, Chris, when you guys were getting this thing set up. I'll tell you what, I was talking with Roddy Britton, who is one of the guitarists and singers here for Twisted Times. I'm not sure if you've worked with them or not before, but he was like, this is new to us. Like giving up the control of the equipment is like, I said, listen, dude, it sounds unbelievable. Don't worry. He's excited, as the rest of them
Well,
are.
see, there are a lot of music festivals that, and we're talking all over the country. We're not talking any particular demographic. That they just want to have something. They've got the gumption. They've got the motive to do it. They just don't know how to do it properly.
Yes.
And it's nothing against those people. They just want to have a good time like everybody else. And when it comes down to it, you know, and everything's in line, it's a learning process. And, you know, I wish more people would take the gumption to get up and do something like this and show up and support these bands and everything else.
Yeah, these are some local musicians we were talking about last night, Triple Threat. We call them local to the area. They played in a lot of places around Roane County for many, many years. Stephanie and the Band of Brothers, the last time we saw them, as George mentioned, was over in Calhoun County. Now tonight, you got 2 members of the band in Twisted Times. This is their backyard. They're spitting distance from their house right now. So talk about local, it doesn't get much more local than that. And then I'm not sure about Logan Reynolds. Looking forward to hearing him. I was hoping for Gabrielle Salvucci, but we get what we can get.
There's a good story about Logan. Actually, I was going to take him to Alabama with me to play to open up for Way.
Really?
Yeah, I got a couple videos of him and tried to promote him a little bit there. But I was going to take him down to play with Way. Something happened with the venue, so he actually ended up playing at the Black Walnut Festival. Brent from up there in Spencer got a hold of me and was like, you know, I need some help up here. Why don't you come up and help me since you had that show cancel out on you? And I was like, well, I've got a guy coming from Parkersburg that he missed out on a gig too. You think you could find him a spot? And he put him on up there at the Black Walnut, and he did a great job.
Well, it's good to have Logan available. You know, it's the last second. It's hard to get musicians sometimes. So he'll be taking the stage right after Twisted Times. And then another local to us for sure and local to this area, but he plays a lot in a lot of places, and that's John Richards. I said he's bigger than he and his guitar. He sounds like there's 3 people and a full band when he gets up on stage and rocks and rolls. John Richards is just impressive. That's all I can say.
He plays a lot with Johnny Stats. Johnny got a hold of me and gave me John's number. They play together all the time.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, it's a really great sound when they get up there.
Absolutely.
They mesh well together.
Well, you guys have dialed it in since yesterday, but again, tomorrow is going to be a whole other beast with 5 musical acts. Now, there's a couple of them that have their own sound people. How's that going to work with you guys? It's going to be like a collaboration of things.
Yeah, so basically what happens, and we were talking earlier about, you know, how it's hard for the other bands to get things up.
Yep.
And we were talking about first-time music festivals. Well, bands have had a lot of bad experiences. So they're not used to having good production. So when you do have good production, it's certainly a positive thing, right?
Yeah.
So what happens when we get a national come in? They usually have their own audio engineer. So in which case we have what's called a split snake. So we take all of their inputs into our split snake, and it runs back to their equipment. They can choose to run us just a couple of lines into ours, or they take over completely.
Yeah.
It's entirely up to the headlining bands and the national traveling musicians, because even as engineers, as much as I would love to run sound for a lot of these guys,
Right.
their guys know them.
Yes.
They
Yeah.
know their frequencies. They know what they produce out. A lot of the times they travel with their own microphones. It's everything. Their in-ears, they have in-ear monitors, and everything's already programmed. So when these guys bring their equipment up on stage, they can just hit it. You know what I mean? We don't have these massive wait times. They just throw it up, and they get it and they go.
Well, I'll tell you what, Chris, what you and Shep are doing here, there's nothing short of awesome. Some of the best sound I've ever heard.
Oh, thank you.
And we're looking forward to you guys continuing your job. So thank you for joining us, buddy. And I know you got another one to get ready to go here in about 10 minutes.
Sir, yes, sir.
Oh, looking forward to it, by golly. We got Cowboy finally rifled in, George. A big ball. We got the big boss man again. Oh, Cowboy, we got another night of this getting ready to go. We got an excited band that's coming in here as
We're
well.
excited.
Let me ask you, are you still alive? Or
Barely. Barely, but I'm alive. They had me in the ambulance earlier today.
Keep floating along right now.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, one thing you can never prepare for in outdoor events is weather. Right now, I think we got about as good a weather as you can get.
Yep.
Can't,
I think the weather's great.
complain.
Nope. Absolutely.
Great.
Well, we're on to day 2 here and evening number 2. We got 3 bands coming up. We still got food vendors. We've got a bunch of stuff going on here. Looking forward. Again, it's now the weekend officially, so we're looking forward to a lot of people rolling in here when they get off of work and get showered up and ready to go here, right?
Well, let's just say Cowboy hopes they come down. It's a big thing. It's spread way out. I mean, I did the best I could with it. To get everything that I thought everybody would like. Believe it or not, the petting zoo is all the way over by the community building. I talked to her earlier, and she said they did great yesterday.
Yeah.
Great. And I was over there a while ago, and they were lined up.
Yep.
So the petting zoo is a big plus. The vendors, I've talked to a few of them. They're doing really good. Really surprised me.
Yeah.
They said they would be back next year if we had it again.
All right.
So
Great. No ifs about it.
Well, George,
Let George get you talked into stuff again.
George, you talked me into this, brother. Let me tell you what.
Well, I'm glad you all did.
I'm only one man.
I know.
I can only do so
We're
much.
going to get a committee. We're going to get some help next
We
week.
got to get some people together. Old Cowboy, I'm getting old, and
Old and febile.
well, I'm way past people. I'm old for sure. But
Senile. Is that
I
what you said?
met Caitlin Jewett yesterday. Just made my day. When I was living in Texas, I lived in the same town she's living in, the
Yep.
town of Cleburne.
Yep.
And very special lady right there. I can't
Yeah.
wait to see her, to hear her on the stage.
You wait. You wait.
A
It's a
sensational
special
group of people she brought with her. Old Ronnie here, I know Ronnie from way back.
I get fan geek when I get around Ronnie.
Oh, I do too.
I do that a lot, but I never said that to him, but I never get fan geek
Hey.
around anybody. But I bow to the man.
I'll never bow to him, but I'll tell you what, I got to look up to him a lot. I mean, I got to look up.
He is.
I'll tell you what, guys, that means a lot. That means a lot. And to have this going on in the town of Reedy, West Virginia, I am telling you, make a man happy. Because it's all about the music, and it's about the people, and it's about spreading a little bit of love, making something good out of it.
Well,
Cowboy, we do appreciate all the effort of you and the people who have volunteered to help this
like
thing
I
out
said,
for sure.
I had people come to me, and since yesterday they've come to me and told me, said, Cowboy, just keep doing it. It's great.
Oh, yeah.
Don't expect something big for the first year.
Right.
But you're doing something great for the town of Reedy.
Oh, it
And
is.
I'm going
It
to
is.
continue to do it I've struggled for a year, but I'm still here. I'm still here.
I haven't finished this show, and I'm ready to do the next one.
Heck yeah. Well, Cowboy, we want to thank you. We're going to bring in this band now
He
here.
already said he's booked for next year.
We already heard it, right?
Already booked. I mean, if it's in Reedy, come on.
Exactly. Let's talk with these guys now for Twisted Times. And again, Cowboy mentioned Ronnie Britton. Ronnie, I said this is the epitome of in your backyard.
Oh, it is
This
in
is spin
my
distance from you.
backyard. Yeah, it's right here. Like I can see my old farm right there from where we're standing. So.
Well, between you, Kathy, the rest of the guys, Dusty and Mike, and is there anybody else that I've missed
There
here?
is Jim Chandler.
Okay.
He's playing bass for us, doing a great job.
Boy,
Yeah.
Jim Chandler, talk about a musician.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
He also was a former employee at WVR.
Mr. Outlaw.
Absolutely, the Outlaw Hour.
We'll talk about him a little bit there while he's not
Well,
here.
what for people who don't know, what are we about to see from you guys?
You are about to see a lot of years of hard work and love going into music.
Yep.
And it shows every time you guys take the stage.
That's
I mean,
what-
like
I
I
mean,
said, I go fan geek all the way.
Well, I'm thinking, I'm losing it up there because it's a thrill. It's
Yes.
a thrill to get out and play for somebody, and people appreciate it.
Mike Cook, your lead guitar, said it will add 10 years to your life.
Yeah. Add 10 years.
Yeah.
It truly is.
Well, I'll tell you what, we've got, I know, and again, I was telling a little story on myself a little bit. I said, years and years ago, I said, I used to come out here and play a little bit of music with Ronnie and a couple of the others. I said, since then, I have gone the way of the dodo when it comes to music. But at that point, you guys continue to play even more and more and more.
Yeah.
And you guys have kind of worked your way in, out, and figured out a good group that works together.
Yeah.
And you guys have worked hard to get to where you are. And the reason you guys are so successful is it doesn't just come together without any practice.
That's right.
Trust me, it takes effort.
You got to
right?
put the work in. If you want anything to succeed, it takes the work.
Now the important member of the band, Dusty, the drummer, obviously.
Oh, yeah. He's carrying us all. He carries us all.
I'm just the backbone. I just make a little bit of ones and twos. That's all I do.
Listen, we know who the star of this band is, and she's right over there without a head on.
I'm going to hand the mic to her.
Yeah, I tell you what, Kathy, a band is just a band until you hear your pipes.
Exactly.
Until you hear that female voice
earlier.
coming out of you, and you're not the biggest human being in the world,
No.
but you got 4-inch steel caissons coming out of your pipes right there.
Yeah.
Just
You know,
unbelievable.
There have been a lot of people over the years that have told me that they can't believe that big voice comes out of this little body.
She got a lot to say and sing, and she does it very, very well. This has been a long time coming for you guys. You guys play a lot still, right, around the area and a little bit further out. What is a typical week for you guys like when it comes to music, at least?
Well,
Well-
for the most part, you want me to take this one?
Go ahead.
For the most part, we practice every day, and we do a lot of back and forth. We do a lot of recording. We've got an in-house studio where we recorded ourselves and along with other people, and we've got a lot of good original songs that we're putting the finishing touches on. That we put a few of them through your local homegrown hours
Yep.
that you did.
Yep.
We did a cover on that one, and thank you for
I
putting
thought it
that
was
on.
original. That's how dumb I am. I was like, here comes an original. Like, no, this is a cover, please.
Yeah, somebody was singing the song beside of you. I think that's what the story I heard. And they was like, how do you know this song? This is new. It was a cover.
I'm an idiot.
We're going to be doing that one here tonight. But, yeah, we've got a lot of originals coming up. We're going to be releasing some cool stuff. If you haven't heard our Twisted sound, I highly recommend getting down here and checking us out live. There's no such environment like a live music environment. It'll add 10 years for sure to your life.
It has 10 years to your life as Mike Cooks. Mike's been doing this for quite a long time. I remember him backing somebody up in high school one time. I can't remember who it was, but I don't know if Mike's like, no, I'm not going to get on the air. He'll just tell me about it later. I'll tell you that. But again, you guys are well-seasoned musicians. You've been at this for a long time. You've been pushing for a long time. I love the fact that you guys have got to the point where you're doing originals now. You got the quality sound. And I think people who don't know or haven't heard you, I don't know that there's many people around here who haven't heard you, but if they haven't, they're about to get a treat,
Yeah,
right?
That's for sure.
Absolutely.
Well, this is Twisted Times, folks. Stick around. They're getting ready to take – in fact, Chris is coming to get them. They're coming to take the stage. Hey, before you guys do that, do me a favor. Go over there and sign our board if you get a chance to. We would love to have twist and time signature on there, and then you guys can go play some music. How about that? We do appreciate that, folks. We're going to send it back to the studio. I know I've gone a little bit long, but whatever. I own the station. I can do what I want sometimes. Miss Lauren, we're going to send it back to you, and you can enjoy the statewide sports line. We're going to stay live for the next hour here at the Reedy Country Music Festival, and we are going to go live on Facebook and YouTube. Any questions, comments, criticisms, snide remarks, we'll take them all. Bring them to us, and we'll enjoy ourselves here at the Reedy Country Music Festival. Back to you. Twisted Times is up on the stage, ladies and gentlemen. Again, it is day 2, night number 2, I guess you could call it now.
Fan geeking out over here.
Of the Reedy Country Music Festival. George is fan geeking right now over Twisted Times. Tell you what, they're a great band. We did have, and I didn't want to, I wanted to explain. I was not being serious. I was being sarcastically funny. Somebody said, hey, no sound on the video. I am serious when I say we cannot play copywritten music live on Facebook and YouTube.
Right.
They'll shut us down.
Miller over here for the radio station.
Hey, we just got a shout out up there.
Proud.
Appreciate that as well. But again, I said, hey, you got to show up to the festival to listen to the music. That's why we brought these bands here. So if you all can make it, come on out and enjoy it. It's only $10 tonight to get in to listen to these 3 bands. Again, Twisted Times going at it right now. They will have the stage till just short of 8 o'clock. Then Logan Reynolds will take over.
It's taking the internet by storm, and if I say the sound, then people are going to be mad at me. Let's try that on 3, everybody. 1, 2.
Oh, God. Hawk Tua. That is one heck of a meme right now. Uh-oh. Well, the kids got banished to their room. Uh-oh. So Logan Reynolds will take over about 8 o'clock, and then John Richards will close things out here tonight. And again, folks, it is so easy. All you got to do is drive to Reedy, West Virginia. You get live music, 3 separate bands tonight, 5 more great musicians and bands and acts tomorrow. There's local food vendors. There's a petting zoo. I forgot to tell people about the petting zoo, George.
Yeah, Cowboy said that the petting zoo had a lot of people last night, and she's rocking and rolling up there right now. That's up next to the community building. So.
Absolutely, and I tell you what, this is going to be another couple good days. We hope that people decide to come out, support this small town and this small community, support the volunteers who put forth maximum effort and energy and dedication to get this place looking the way it is. Support the local musicians. There's a couple of local musicians right up on stage right now. And again, support the local businesses who are trying to make this a really fun, positive thing for the town of Reedy and the community and for the county of Roane County.
And a reoccurring thing year after year.
Yeah, the hope is to get this thing going year after year after year. But to do that, it requires people to come and show up and support these local businesses. So we just want to let everybody know while they were on a break there for a second, we cannot play copywritten music live on Facebook and YouTube. We'll get shut down, and then we won't even be able to talk. And I don't want to do that. I want to be able to do that. We'll be live, folks, here for another 40 minutes. We'll be checking in from time to time with our audio. Other than that, we are just going to be moving the camera around and enjoying ourselves. Please, if you have any questions, let us know. Let us know what you're asking, and we'll get the answers to you as quickly as humanly possible. Live here at the first ever and first annual, hopefully, Reedy Country Music Festival. Ladies and gentlemen, we are hanging out here at the first ever and first, hopefully, annual Reedy Country Music Festival. Right now on stage is Twisted Times local band. Again, a couple of musicians local to the actual area, and I mean local to the area in that you could probably throw a rock at Ronnie Britton's back porch right now. I tell you what, folks, we're enjoying ourselves. Again, for those of you asking, we're just showing the band. We cannot play the band because there are some cover tracks that they're playing, and if they're playing cover tracks and we get it on Facebook and we get a copyright law, we're not going to be able at all to stay on live because Facebook and YouTube will shut us down. That's why you got to be here. If you want to listen to the live music, you got to be here live. That's why it's called live music. Oh, my goodness. Let's look at this. Well, it's just right there is Mike Greenlee with a wonderful shirt, by the way. And he brought us some lemon lime or just lime slushies. I appreciate that. Mike Greenlee coming through in the absolute clutch with some lime slushies. That is JoJo's Tacos, by the way, folks. So stop down here. But again, these are local people. These are local vendors, food trucks, and all local musicians. We're trying to give something positive to Roane County and positive to the local area here in Reedy. JoJo's Tacos is set up there at the food court area. Also, some other local food court vendors are here. If you're talking about getting piggy with a 304 LLC, that's down in the far corner. Jason Miles Bennett and some Calhoun connections over there. In fact, yesterday, he had some Calhoun girls with him, including the all-time scoring leader in women's basketball history for Calhoun County High School, Josie Montgomery, who now plays golf and she plays basketball for Concord, the Mountain Lions. So those are a couple of them. We've got our adopted sister Samurai Hibachi. That food truck has been in Spencer so much they might as well just live in Spencer. They are from Ripley in the Fairplain area, but they are here as well. There's an ice cream truck as well. There's a bunch of stuff going on here. All you got to do is show up, folks. It's $10 to get into the gate here tonight. Very, very inexpensive. Tomorrow, it's going to be $30 for general admission. You're like, whoa, $30? I'm like, yeah. 5 bands, and I mean 5 absolutely phenomenal bands are coming here to Reedy tomorrow, starting with Michael Dean Lewis, bright and early. For me, bright and early at 11 a.m. And then it will be Caitlin Jordy we had on live in the studio. She'll take the stage around 1, and then it'll be followed by the Davison Brothers Band, one of the most well-known bands in West Virginia. Hopefully they draw a big crowd. It'll go into the nighttime with Rachel Lipsky coming down once again to play, and then the headliner tomorrow night is Sam Grow and his band. So we've got a full day, George, of awesome music.
My mic is not on.
Helps if I turn your mic on. Sorry about that, but who's running this show anyway?
You know, Sam, like I said, what can I say about Sam? I've worked with him since he was like 16 years old. Man's had 2 appearances on the Grand Ole Opry so far, in negotiations for a 3rd time. Had several singles that have went gold on streaming. So, you know, it is just awesome that, you know, we're going to have this kind of talent here tomorrow. I mean, all 5 of these bands tomorrow are going to just knock your socks off.
Right now, Triple Threats, or not Triple Threat, that was yesterday. Right now, Twisted Times is on the center stage. Looking back, we're very happy to be joined by, again, a local human being in Mike Greenlee, but also a food truck vendor here with he and Joe Ellens, JoJo's Tacos, but also a supporter of this first ever Reedy Country Music Festival, Old Fences Realty. Mike, this is kind of a really cool thing for at least Joe Ellen. This is kind of a homecoming for her to be able to come back here to her roots in Reedy and have a good time and support this festival.
Absolutely. So I am sitting here in front of the stage. I can look across the valley and see where all my problems began. I say that out loud.
Oh my
on the radio.
Yes, you did. Let us hope that Joella never hears or sees of this.
Mike Greenlee.
You gotta love him.
Oh, yes, she is wholehearted. Definitely a big supporter of this. As soon as Cowboy come to us talking about it. There was no, maybe. It was like, absolutely, I will be there. I will be there.
Exactly. Well, we really appreciate you all coming as well and helping us out. You know, I just hope that we can continue this. We have got a vision here, and we really want to take this year after year after year and build it bigger and bigger and bigger.
Well, Rome wasn't built in a day, as we always say. You got to start from somewhere. And so year number one, this is where we start. Let me ask you about this, Mike. Joe Ellen's or JoJo's Taco Truck. Why, where, how? The 5 W's. I want to know what caused this to happen. And this is a pretty meteoric rise with success. You guys have done a great job.
You know what? She grabs hold of something and she hits it wholeheartedly. Always been that way from the time she was a kid, being a little cheerleader here in Spencer, to today. So whenever she decided that she was going to do this, you were part of the beginning.
Our little group of crazy guys decided to let us be the taste testers. Hopefully we did good. I think we did.
Well, we believe that you absolutely did. I mean, there is a reason why the Food Network come knocking on her door, and it's definitely a huge part of it, of the Super Bowl party that you had in our taste testing. That I mean, her beef, it was 100%. They picked item number 5.
Yeah, number 5. We don't know what it was, but we know item number 5 won.
It was, and it's been her her flagship ever since. And of course, then last year, whenever she decided she was going to add chicken to her repertoire, again, the Super Bowl party came through, and everybody just loves it. The Food Network loved her food. The host of Carnival Eats, Noah, big tall blonde guy, if you ever see him on the phone, he is so funny. Oh my God.
That's what it was. I was trying to remember because I watch Food Network all the time. Carnival Eats is the show that you guys are going to be on sometime early August.
Sometime. We haven't heard when yet. They are in the process of production at this point.
Yeah.
These things don't happen like tomorrow.
Yeah.
Just the taping. I mean, she'll be, I don't know, there'll probably be 10 minutes of her on the show or whatever. But that took over 2 hours of filming and all that kind of thing. And then the second day, they came out and they did the, I guess, the photo shoots and all that kind of stuff of their food.
Yes.
So this is, I mean, it's an unbelievable experience to see what these guys go through in order to make it look what it does on the Food Network.
100 hours of film for 20 seconds of content, right?
And the planning. I mean, these guys came from Ottawa, Canada.
Sheesh.
To come down to see Joellen, a little girl from Reedy, West by Golly, Virginia.
Isn't that nuts that we're back here in the hometown where it all started? Mike says all of the problems began. I tell you, that it was really fun. And again, in year one, you just never really know what to expect. All you can do in year one of something is put forth your best effort. And that's what's happened here. Cowboy, the administration over here, the volunteers. There's a lot of volunteerism that is going into this small community. They have pride. They're showing it. And we just hope people reward that effort.
Oh, yeah.
By coming out here and enjoying themselves.
Now, we go to a lot of fairs and festivals, all over the place. The sound system here is one of the best that we hear in the state. It is absolutely incredible. We, one of my agents, Taylor May, he listed a piece of property, I don't know, probably a quarter mile out of town, going towards Sunflower, going that direction. And I was there flying a drone there last night. So I was there flying a drone, and I could understand every word that was coming out of the speakers. I mean, that's, I don't know, 3/4 mile out of
quite a ways.
I could hear it. I could understand it even. It was that crystal clear. So, I man, my hat's off to those guys. They do an incredible job.
Don Shepard, who is local himself, he's just across the border there. We won't hurt him for that. But, again, he is an administrator at the Roan Jackson Tech Center by day, and he runs Shep's Entertainment by night. He and Chris, his buddy over there, they have the equipment they need and they know how. and they are very, very. They want to make sure they put the best foot forward, and that's why they're here. And they have produced the great sound that you hear, folks. All we're asking for is people to come over here, spend $10 to get into the event, and then hang out, enjoy yourselves. There's a lot of local food vendors here, and apparently a petting zoo again. I keep forgetting about that. I'm sending Swolby down there in a little bit.
I'm getting
down to the petting zoo.
I'm getting the need to go to JoJo's Tacos here in a few.
Oh yeah,
I'm getting pretty hungry. Yep. Yeah.
So yeah, another thing, since I'm in here on the radio, I might as well talk.
Yeah.
So again, we go to a lot of these fairs and festivals, all over the state, and some of these fairs and festivals aren't really set up to take care of these vendors in a way that works.
Yeah.
The city here, the town came to me and says, "Hey, what do we need?" And I told them what we needed for successful food trucks to be able to do well here. And he now has it set up that anybody who has the newer food trucks like Joellen has can come right in here, plug in, bang.
Yep.
They're ready to go. And that means a lot in being able to get these vendors from all over the state to be able to come here.
Over the past couple months, they've been working really hard. They put a lot of water taps in over there. They've actually put a complete power drop that comes into the field here, and it also connects over next to the jail. And
yeah, when we pulled in here, I pulled out I didn't even have to pull out my big extension cords or anything. I pulled it out, plugged right in, just off of my tether for it. Water, bang, right there.
That's it.
And
that was the whole thing,
Yeah, these things are.
They really worked hard at putting this together.
Yeah.
And like I said, we want to see it go from year to year, and the plan is to go bigger and better each year.
Yeah. And he's got the footprints in place to be able to do that. But what do we need? We need the local people to come to support this.
Yes.
And do what they do best. Come and have a good time.
Yeah, just come have a good time is all we're asking of people out there. Drive a little ways or walk a little ways if you're here local. Pay the $10. You get 3 full bands tonight. If tomorrow you come out, you pay $30. And again, as you said, Mike, $30 gets you general admission. And you can walk a mile away and still hear all the musicians. You can get in here. You can have a good time. You can get some great food from these food trucks. You guys are out and about with food trucks. You've seen some of these people in many different places.
Yeah.
It's almost like a little community of its own.
Yeah. The great thing about the food truck community is when somebody has a problem, the others will step up and say, "Hey, I've got this.
Yeah.
And how about if I help you?" Joellen had a problem with a hose yesterday. So we didn't have enough extra hose to be able to reach. But luckily she has duplicate systems and stuff in place. And the carnival people had an additional hose. We plugged it into our reserves, filled up our reserves. Nobody knew it ever happened.
Yeah.
Because it's just people jump in and help each other. And the quality of the food that you see here. We've got folks here with some awesome barbecue. You can smell that as soon as you drive down the street. Here, you smell that barbecue smell. You've got all the ice cream. You've got everything that you expect to see in a venue like this. Is here.
And again, this is year one. Yeah, it can only expand if people come out and enjoy it. It can expand. It won't expand without the people showing up and supporting it. If they do, who knows what the years to come may be. I know that there's a lot of interesting music festivals.
Yes.
And a lot of these music festivals, like there's one up in Preston County, I can never remember the name of it, but it's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
There's nobody around, but they created this festival that hundreds of thousands of people go to every year.
Is that the one in Parsons?
I think so, maybe. I can't remember what they're called.
Well, they got one up in Parsons. That's Pickin' in Parsons.
Pickin' in Parsons.
Okay, yeah. There's
Not
that one.
different.
Yeah, there's one over in Preston County. It's near Morgantown. Can't remember the name of it, but again, they're in Nowheresville. So it doesn't matter where you're at. Are there enough spaces for people to come? Is it a good event? Is it put together well? And this one is put together well, number one, and waiting for people to come enjoy it.
Yes. no doubt. Yeah, I can see this being a tremendous event as time goes along. I just would just hope that people would come and support it to begin with, so that way they would have the funds in order to grow this thing and get the folks out there that are the corporate sponsors and those kind of folks that come on board and say, oh, okay, well, it worked.
Yeah.
So let's do it.
Let's do it.
Exactly.
It makes it a lot easier for people to say yes.
Yes. Absolutely.
I mean, you know, the town here has really stepped up. They spent a lot of money to get this power drop put in. They put in all the water taps and stuff. So, I mean, you know, we're really hoping that we can make this a continuous thing.
Yes. Well, Mike, number one, thank you very much for the lime slushies. And we're going to be heading over to JoJo's pretty soon.
Exactly.
We're all starving at this point. So
Well, we will hook a brother up, and we will hook everybody out on the radio land here, too.
absolutely. Come on over here.
Yes.
Get some. It's going to be nationally recognized, JoJo's Talkers, pretty soon. So
Exactly.
we're going to get some of that, folks.
And then, you know, they're just going to go straight on up the ladder.
Oh, yeah, they're going to be famous. I feel that. I feel that.
Yeah.
Mike, thank you so much. We got another guest coming in here. And this guy, I've been waiting to hear because I don't know who he is. I'm sorry. I'm a moron, just so you know. I do run a radio station, but that doesn't mean I'm smart at all about music. This is Logan Reynolds. Number one, how did you get free, just happen to be free, on short notice to come in on this Friday night and play some music for this festival?
Well, you know, that's the cool thing. See if I got this.
I got you there.
There we go. Well, you know, that's the cool thing about how my music career is shaking out right now. I've been doing a lot of busking. You know, I get tons of practice, tons of paid practice out on different street corners about every weekend for the past 2 years. But the big thing is it's getting up and running, and it's been going really well. But it just shook out. A friend of mine, shout out to Evie Schaefer for sending this my way. He said they were looking for musicians, and I sent out a message to one of the folks involved, and they got in touch with another person, and it all shook out pretty good. I gave them a number, and they said yes. I said, I'll be there. I'll be there.
Well, let's talk about you, Logan. Where do you come from originally, and how did you get into this thing called music?
I'm from Vincent, Ohio, which is about a touch over an hour from here, out around Belpre, Marietta, that little neck of the woods. You know, I've been doing the music thing in one form or another basically since I could walk. I had a little toy guitar that I carried around with me everywhere, and then I got a little older and got into high school band because my mom told me if I wanted to play football, I had to do it at least 1 year of band.
Yeah.
And thank God she twisted my arm on that because
our mom's like that.
I played 1 year of football, and then I played saxophone for about 10 or 12 years, all through high school, all through college. And that was my main deal. I was trained as a saxophonist. Played in jazz bands, played that, I wouldn't say semi-professionally, but for a little money here and there, sitting in with bands. And at some point, I came across a fella named Coulter Wall, who's a country, absolutely. So I heard Coulter's music, and I hadn't really been much of a country fan for several years. I grew up with it, but I kind of got out of it. Listened to a whole bunch of different music, still do. But I heard Coulter, and I got to give him credit where credit's due. He's the guy who got me back into country music. And I've always screwed around with guitars, have for almost 20 years now. But for the first time, I heard a guy sing and thought, oh, I might be able to do something like that. And I was in CA House Music in Parkersburg one day, actually doing some Christmas shopping for my little girl. I got her her first guitar, and there was this little Gretsch Jim Dandy parlor guitar. Had a nice price tag on it. It looked great. I played it, really enjoyed it. And I bought that, and I took it home with me.
You bought that for you, right?
Yeah, I bought that for me. And it has been my constant companion for about 2 years now. But when I started playing it and trying to sing Coulter's songs, and my now fiance looked at me and said, you know, you're not too bad at this. Like, You want to give it a shot? Okay. And I'd done the street performing thing before with saxophone, so I wasn't too scared of it. And one day I went out and sang on the corner and made a little money, and I did it the next weekend, and the next weekend, and next weekend. Next thing I know, it's been 2 years of doing this. Made about a quarter of a living doing it. It's been a real good time, and now the shows are coming in. I did some last year. I did Washington County Fair, Pleasance County Fair. I just finished up my second year at the River and Rails Bass Festival in St. Mary's, West Virginia, and it's been a fun, wild ride.
Somebody who was a little bit into country music, got away from country music, got drawn back in. Thank you, Coulter Wall, by the way. Drawn back in, and now from saxophonist to country music artist. How about that? That is that's a navigation that I have not seen for a while. That's impressive.
Most of my life is like
into
that.
the other. Well, props number one to your mom for making you play an instrument. I remember back in the day, I played piano growing up. And it's one of the great regrets of my life, of course, but back in 5th, 6th, 7th grade, you're like, piano, blah, blah, blah. She told me after 7 years I could quit piano as long as I picked up another instrument. So I picked up a guitar, and the rest was history for me. I've loved it ever since, but I wish I could play piano now. So mad I didn't do it, but thanks to Mom for making me pick up another instrument. That's a big deal for you, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're here on short notice. We're ready for you here tonight after Twisted Times is done. What's next for you?
Next, that's for sure on the schedule. I haven't signed a contract yet, but I talked to the fellows at the Pleasance County Fair. That should be next on my list. Sometime in August, I'm doing a gig at the Wings Etc. in Belpre, Ohio. Still talking to the folks at, if anybody from the Washington County Fair is listening, I sent an email. Maybe I'll send out another one. We had a good time last year, and just a matter of getting things booked. You know, it seems like when I can do it, everybody's real happy. But, here for a little bit, I was doing a master's program and planning a wedding. I got 2 kids, and, I'm lucky if I remember to breathe most days. So my marketing fails me. Thank God for people who know people, because, boy, sometimes I'm just forgetful.
Well, I tell you what, you need a marketing manager at some point. That's what's going to have to happen next for you. You need a marketing manager. Well, I tell you what, Logan, number one, thank you for coming on such short notice. We're looking forward to some country music with you. I don't know what to expect because I have yet to hear you, so I'm looking forward to figuring you out as you go. One thing I want you to do before you leave us, if you can, take a Sharpie and sign our board here. We would love to have your name on our WVRC board, and I do appreciate you, buddy.
Sure. I appreciate it. Let me get this done here. If anybody who's listening wants to check out what I've been doing, you can find me at Logan.Reynolds27 on Instagram and on TikTok at that same handle. You can find me at Logan Reynolds Music on Facebook. And if you type that in on YouTube, my stuff will come up as well.
Fantastic. That is Logan Reynolds, and he is coming in next. He's going to follow up here. Twisted Times has got just a little bit longer to go, maybe about an hour. In fact, you got some time to relax, enjoy yourself over here, and thank you so much for being a part of our first ever Reedy Country Music Festival.
Thank you. I haven't sung a note, and it's already been a pleasure. I appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is Logan Reynolds. He's coming up next year. Tonight, we're going to go radio silent for just a few minutes, folks. We'll come back here, continue to mark out this wonderful day and this wonderful event on the first ever Reedy Country Music Festival.